This is Bill McFadden from Tone Pure Music, and in the second part of this tutorial on John Williams' Jurassic Park hymn, we'll get into the mixing aspects. So let's go ahead and listen to the cue while observing the mixer. So here we go. So we have the harp come in, and then we have the French horn, as well as the viola. So if you look at those indicators, here's the violas, here's the French horn. We also have the basses and the string ensemble. Okay, so here we have the choir come in and the trumpets. We also have a second string ensemble come in as well, which gives it more momentum. So now we have 6 trumpets instead of 2 come in. Okay, so let's get into the mixing. What I have on the master bus is Neutron, and it's deactivated right now. I'll go ahead and activate. So this is Neutron 2. And this is what it looks like. Now I can go ahead and choose presets. So if we go into orchestral, we could select orchestral bus because we're on the main bus right here. Like that. Let's hear what it sounds like. Now we can see an equalizer was added as well as a compressor to equalize the volume, so to speak, in that particular preset. Now I've also divided the track into 4 groups, one for woodwinds, one for brass, one for percussion, and one for strings. We can also put Neutron on each of these. So let's go ahead and look at the woodwinds. I'll activate the Neutron preset. And that allows us to choose what preset we want. And orchestral, for the woodwinds specifically, we'll go ahead and choose. We wouldn't want to do wood flute, but we could do woodwind energizer. And so let's go ahead and solo that. It definitely gives us more presence in the woodwinds. Okay, now let's take a look at the brass. So I'll activate Neutron on the as an insert for the brass group. And as we take a look, we see the same presets. So in chorus orchestral, we could do a big brass warmer would be appropriate. Or we could do MIDI brass enhancer would be appropriate. Let's go ahead and do big brass warmer. Okay, and here's the brass. Okay, the next group we'll look at is percussion. So activating that preset, this is what we have. And going to presets and orchestral, Hollywood percussion definition would be appropriate. And if we solo that, so there we have the percussion track, and the next one will be strings. So if we look at the instance of Neutron on strings, we get this window, and looking at the presets, going down to orchestral, we have biting strings, Hollywood or Bollywood strings, and let's do string ensemble massivizer and hear what that sounds like. Definitely too much compressing going on there. So let's look at something. Here's we have legato quartet, which will work okay, but there's something else that we can do to more finely tune in to the particular band, and I'll show you that in just a second. But let's listen to the legato quartet. So that works quite nicely. But just to show you the options we have, on this particular track, which is our strings, I'll go ahead and run track assistant. So the way you do that is you just click on track assistant and then you solo the instrument and play it, or in this case, the group of instruments, which are strings. So here goes. Soloing. Now we do have a choice here. We can specify the instrument or we can let it auto detect. So I'll just go ahead, use auto detect. We'll do balance, medium intensity, click next, and then we'll play. Okay, then we'll select accept. And then notice we've got equalization that was automatically provided. First compressor, second compressor, and even an exciter. It sets the crossover points, it sets the compression characteristics. Everything's done for us. Okay, let's listen to this as it continues. Okay, so we've mixed via Neutron the main instrument groups. I have choir on a separate bus, so I'll activate Neutron on the choir. And now as far as presets, so this is just a quick way. If you want to spend more time, you can run track assistant on each of your instrument groups. And you can, if you have enough computer resources, you can run track assistant on each instrument or group of instruments in your tracks. So for choir, we could go down to vocals and we could do female light tape saturation. I'll go ahead and do female backgrounds. And then we'll go ahead and solo the choir. So that's right here. Take the strings out. Okay. Now, another thing we can do with Neutron is the tonal balance. So the tonal balance can be set for orchestral, modern, bass heavy, or you can actually sample a track and generate a tonal balance for a track in the genre that you're trying to emulate by creating a custom target curve from an audio file. But we'll go with the orchestral template and let's play our cue and see how it matches up. Now, the way it's supposed to work is your indicator should lie between the upper and lower bounds of each of the bands, the low band, the low mid, the high mid, and the high band. And if you'll notice, our high band was below the lower limit. So what we can do, I have an instance of Neutron on the main bus. And here it is. So what we can do, actually, before we go into the Neutron instance, because there's inter-module communication between tonal balance control and Neutron, we can go to the individual tracks. Let's start with woodwinds. Okay, we have a bump in the high frequency range, so we're okay there. Percussion, nothing, so we could bounce that up. So I'll go ahead and add a node, pop it up to about 11 dBs. Then we'll go down to brass, do the same. I'll add a node, pop it up. Increase the Q a little bit. There. And let's go down to choir. Add a node. Increase the Q. There. And strings. Add a node. What do we have left? Okay, we have, I think, all of our groups. Now, if we go to stereo out, we can also increase that high frequency range there as well. But let's go ahead and see what that did to our balance. So we're still low in the beginning. Once you apply Neutron, you have to make some adjustments to your mix because it added compression and equalization, which increased the volume in certain instances. So we realize that we still haven't got in the range. So let's do one more thing. In the stereo out, we've done all the individual groups. So in stereo out, let's focus on that. We'll do the same thing, create a node, and go ahead and elevate it. Okay, now let's see what happens. So now we have a tonal balance that's most of the time in the range in all four bands. So look into Neutron for your mixes. It's a good starting point. And if you want, you can top it off. Here's Ozone. So we could go ahead and master that basic mix and throw in a template. Let's see, here's the presets for Ozone. And we have classical for the genre specific mastering. So if we put that on, let's hear what we got. So, Bill McFadden from Tone Pure Music. If you like this video, please click like. And if you want to keep these videos coming, then please subscribe. So, Bill McFadden signing off from Tone Pure Music.